Why are so many people saying the Earth is flat? From NASA conspiracy theories to walls of ice that stop us from falling off the planet, here are 10 flat Earth belief theories. Number 10. Satellites don't exist. Flat Earth believers state that one reason they know the Earth is flat is because satellites do not really exist. Instead, they say that satellites, even ones taken to space, are actually CGI composites or computer-generated images. Many flat Earth believers explain that for communication, such as the internet and cell phone reception, there are underground cables that connect everything to everyone. They also argue that there are underwater sea cables, which connect all the continents with redundancy and also helps with connection through the internet. Flat Earth believers also state there is no GPS for airplanes traveling too far south of the equator or too far out on the ocean. They lose all communications because there are no towers available, which would explain the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. Furthermore, they state that there is no credible proof that satellites do exist, stating there are no actual photos, no actual video footage, only CGI, Pixar, Photoshop satellites. Flat Earthers further state that satellites cannot be rotating around the Earth because we would constantly be losing signal as the satellite moved to the other end of the Earth. Number 9. Gravity is just an illusion.
Sorry, Sir Isaac Newton, but flat Earth theorists are not your biggest fans. People who say the Earth is flat think that people who say the Earth is round is because of gravity. Since the Earth is round, then when something fell, gravity would pull the object straight down toward the center of the sphere. It would not matter where the object fell. But remember, flat Earth believers don't believe in gravity.
Flat Earth believers state the disk of Earth accelerates upward at 32 feet per second squared, and it is driven up by a mysterious force called dark energy. This energy is defined as an unknown form of energy which is hypothesized to permeate all of space, tending to accelerate the expansion of the universe. Flat Earthers believe that the fact that light things rise up and heavy things fall down is simply a natural property of weight and has nothing to do with gravity. They say that gravity is a hypothetical magnetic-like force possessed by large masses, which Isaac Newton needed to help explain the heliocentric theory of the universe. Flat Earth believers even state gravity would be too hard for the fish in the sea. If gravity is strong enough to curve the massive expanse of oceans around a globular Earth, it would be impossible for fish and other creatures to swim through such forcefully held water. Number 8. NASA conspiracies. Flat Earth theorists do not really believe in anything NASA says or does. NASA is all a lie. Some people believe that the Earth is flat because science, especially NASA, or anything to do with outer space, is all a conspiracy. They believe that NASA is just a tool used in order to keep things hidden. So people who believe the Earth is flat argue that they are just searching for the truth. In order to support this theory, flat Earth theorists use examples of photographs, which I'll talk about later. Flat Earth believers go on to say that pretty much every rocket, plane, drone, and other amateur footage taken over 20 miles high shows a perfectly flat horizon. Furthermore, Flat Earth believers state that if the world really was round, NASA would be able to easily prove it through one of the satellites orbiting the Earth. However, since they have not done this, because satellites don't exist, remember, it proves that the Earth is flat. Number 7. Photographs. I think it would be safe to say that almost all of us have seen photographs of the Earth being round, and all the other planets as well. People who believe the Earth is flat state that these photographs are all photoshopped, including images from NASA, of course, and it is easy to Photoshop pictures in today's day and age. When you look at pictures, the horizon is flat and not curved. Flat Earth believers state that if the Earth was curved or round, you would be able to see a curvature in pictures. However, this is clearly not the case. Flat Earth believers often use NASA's images that show curvature in the Earth to debunk the round Earth theory. They subscribe to the notion that NASA takes the true images of the flat world and implements a curve in them through digital wizardry. For the other areas, such as Mount Everest, that also show the curvature of the Earth, the Flat Earth crew says this is simply the result of distortions and limitations inherent in wide-angle lenses. See, there's an explanation for everything. If the Earth was actually a big ball, the horizon would be noticeably curved, and everything on or approaching the horizon would appear to tilt backwards slightly from your perspective. Since this doesn't happen, their theory of the Earth being flat is supported over the round Earth theory, which I didn't know was just a theory up for debate until I did a video on facts about the Earth, and suddenly everyone was saying the Earth was flat. Number 6. Helicopters and planes. Many people believe that if the Earth was round, pilots would have to continually point their airplanes down, or else they would fly straight into outer space rather than around the curve of the Earth. They also believe that helicopters would be able to hover in place if the Earth was round, which they cannot. Helicopters have to fly to their destination, proving the world is flat. Flat earthers also state that any curve of the Earth you see while flying is because of the airplane windows and not the Earth itself. Furthermore, flat Earth believers state it would be harder to fly east than any other direction if the Earth was round, because if the Earth was a ball, it would be much harder to fly east, because the atmosphere is moving in the other direction at hundreds of miles per hour. See, there's the answer. Insane FTW, an entertainment website, explains more by stating, "Science says the Earth, along with its atmosphere, is spinning eastwards with speeds higher than 1,000 miles per hour. However, if a commercial airliner is traveling at 500 miles per hour, there's no way it could reach its eastern destination on time." Number 5. Flat horizon equals flat Earth. Flat Earth believers state that if the Earth was round, the higher you went up, whether in a hot air balloon or climbing a mountain, you would have to look down more and more in order to see the horizon. However, this is not the case. Therefore, the Earth cannot be round. Instead, the horizon always rises to your eye level, which is only possible when observing a flat plane. The horizon rises to eye level and remains perfectly flat even at 120,000 feet, as you can see from pictures taken from a weather balloon and airplanes, etc. They further state that the horizon never curves because we are on an endless plane. On a globe with 25,000 miles in circumference, you would see a noticeable disappearance of objects the further they are, as they would be leaning away from you and dropping below the constantly curving horizon. Number 4. Forests are not real. In 2017, Flat Earth believers brought into focus a new theory to help prove that the Earth is indeed not round, and this theory was that forests are not real. Flat Earth theorists further believe that the trees we see are actually not trees, but instead are just big bushes. This theory was first introduced in a YouTube video called "There Are No Forests on Flat Earth, Wake Up!" and has been viewed thousands of times, with many people believing in this theory. In the video, the narrator states that they make us think that this is a forest. He tells us when you are actually looking at 30-meter bushes. After watching this video, you will reverse your concept of forest by 360 degrees. These forests are not real, and this proves the world is flat. They go on to state that thousands of years ago, a cataclysmic event destroyed 99% of the Earth's biosphere, and when it happened, it took away the real forests. Please get your research from credible sources, guys, and travel more. You can visit large forests for yourself. Number 3. The wall of ice. Flat Earth believers state that no one has been able to see the end of the Earth because there is a wall of ice on the coast of Antarctica. The shelf of ice is several hundred meters thick. The outer rim is an unbroken ice wall that runs around the entire circumference of the Earth. If you would like a visual of this wall, imagine the Earth is a pizza. The ice wall would be the doughy crust. Furthermore, many flat earthers state that this wall of ice is protected by guards employed by NASA to ensure that no one can climb over the wall or fall off the end of the Earth. This ice wall serves to keep the Earth's oceans from spilling away, and nobody knows what exists on the other side. On their website, the Flat Earth Society states that Sir James Clark Ross, a British naval officer and polar explorer, was among the first to venture to Antarctica in an attempt to determine the position of the South Magnetic Pole, and I guess he discovered the wall. Number 2. The sun is closer than we think. According to those who believe the Earth is flat, the sun is really only 3,000 miles away. Also, it is only about 32 miles wide. They also explain that the sun is a giant interdimensional light bulb that moves in a circle and shines on the flat surface of the world like a lighthouse. A narrator on a YouTube video further explains that if the sun was as far away as other people have stated, parts of the world would always have sunlight. Furthermore, there would be the same amount of sunlight, however, certain areas show that this is not how it works. So it helps support the Flat Earth believers' idea that the sun is closer than we have been told. Another plus for the Flat Earthers' sun is closer theory is the rays of the sun. As both Flat Earth believers and the YouTube narrator states, the rays of the sun beam through clouds as if the sun is just above the clouds. Number 1. The Zetetic Method. Samuel Burley Rowbotham, who wrote Zetetic Astronomy, Earth Not a Globe, states that the reason some people believe the Earth is flat is because they simply believe the Earth is flat. The author states they believe they can see and feel the Earth is flat, therefore it must be flat. The teachings of the Zetetic Method are remarkably easy. Trust your instincts. If one can't see the curve of the Earth, then there is no curve. And if you feel yourself walking in a straight line, then the Earth must be flat. No scientific investigation needed. It is basically you believe what you believe. Nothing will change your mind. End of story. I guess that's a life lesson for us all. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe and I'll see you next time. Bye!